Welcome, everyone. If you will, for a moment, please rise as you're able. Remove your caps for this playing of the star for the National Anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you all. You can be seated. And that was our vocalist. The beautiful rendition was Emily Kolb. So thank you, Emily, for singing the National Anthem to kick this off. Well, this is a celebratory day. It's been 4 years since I've been at a commencement, other than yesterday where we had our undergrad commencement. I'm delighted to welcome all of you here today. It's our first day that we've had a son, so that's good. So sorry to bring you in here, but we'll try to keep things moving. But we're certainly welcome everyone who's joined us today, family, friends of our students, our faculty, our staff, and everybody who's been a part of this today. It's just a great day to be together and not be seeing each other on screens. So keep in mind, keep your eyes. I know sometimes we project things, maybe not today, but keep your eyes on the people because everyone is here today. I'm Brian Boer, and I'm Dean of the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. I'll probably say CFANS from here on out, so if your students or somebody else hadn't said CFANS ever, that's what I'm referring to. That shortens it up a little bit today. And I'm honored to host this event and welcome all of you, but also we have several distinguished guests with us here today. And joining us is University of Minnesota Regent Janie Mayron. Thank you for joining us, Regent Mayron. We also have our Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Dean Scott Lanyon, who's joined us today. Thank you, Scott, for joining us. And our CFANS Dean for Research and Graduate Programs, who oversees all of our grad programs, has been a part of all the students' lives as they've been here, is Associate Dean Gregory Como. Thank you all for joining us today for the celebration of our students and the celebration of their commencement. Today our ceremony does recognize there are 110 students here today, master's and PhD students, and we're excited to have them with us. This is one of our most joyous occasions through the year, an opportunity to recognize all the hard work you've done. And I want to thank you all for your hard work, for your dedication to CFANS, because you are, as you know, as you're working in labs and oftentimes you have assistantships, you're working with faculty, you are an integral part of both your education as well as advancing the science at the University of Minnesota. So thank you all for joining us, and we're certainly delighted to have you here. I also want to start off by welcoming and thanking all the parents, the families, the siblings, significant others, partners who've been a part of the students' lives. And students, I want you to take a moment and think about the symbols of your accomplishments and what that means to them as well. They've followed you throughout your careers, and most of you have been probably in your careers for 6 to 7 years, maybe 8 to 10 to 12 years like me. And so exhaustively over time, they've followed you, they've championed your work, they've supported you, they've given their love and caring, and they've had their will and values behind you to succeed in this. So I'd ask all of you for a moment to thank the audience members who are here once again to support you in your journey. So thank you all for your support. There's another group here I'd like to thank. Most of them are sitting in front of you. Some of our faculty are over here to my right, to your left. And I do want to give a thanks to them as well. And in particular, I'm going to say this and not glibly. These are what I'd call everyday heroes. We've heard a lot about the impacts of COVID and so on, but one of the things the students here, many of you will have learned when you come into CFANS, you're going to get a little dirty, right? You're out in the field, you're out in the forest, you're out in the lakes, you're out in the prairies, you're out in the field doing your work, you're in labs. You're going to get your hands dirty, you're going to get into things, you're going to be out there in the world doing the work that we do in CFANS of trying to improve food security and while at the same time preserving, protecting, and enhancing our natural resources, our forests, our fields, our lakes, our rivers, our wildlife. And that's part of the work that you're all trained to do now, and you're going to go out into the world and express that. But of course, in the spring, I kind of go back for a minute to the spring of 2020, and many of you were here. How many grad students were here that spring of 2020? Probably most of you. Some of the master's students may not have been, or certainly PhD students. And we were trying to discover, how we might go ahead with our work. And one of the things you realize in our college, and I'll say this broadly about the work we do, is we are as essential as it can be. We certainly recognize all of you in our healthcare industries who've supported people, our elder care people, the food workers, everybody who's out there, people working in transportation, all of the people who work through that. But in the work that we do, we know have an important role, and right now as we're looking at food security, some of the weather issues we're having, climate change issues, the work we're doing is critical to that. And I'm proud to say that our faculty and our graduate students here today, throughout that period, of course there was a period where we're wondering what are we going to do? How are we going to get out into those fields and get dirty? How are we going to accomplish the work we wanted to do? And everybody in the front of this room and the students here, I got to see them pitch in, move together, and that spring we started to go out into the field because, of course, if we lose a year here, if you're observing, forestry, you're looking at phenology, if you're looking at new grape varieties, I look at people, if you're looking at crop production, you have to go out and do that work. It's not going to get done otherwise. And so we managed to create some policies and protocols. We managed to get out into the work to support the graduate students, and it was just amazing what was accomplished. And I'm going to go through a few of these because these are accomplishments that are part of every day of the work we do and your students have done while they were here. But our meat science and food sciences program, for example, at that time, if you can remember, there was challenges with meat processing, and we did that on campus, and we delivered that to Second Harvest Heartland as part of that. I know that students here were working in some of those areas. We also, in food science, we opened up our labs while we were still challenged by how are we going to cope and manage this to food companies who were looking at reformulations of their food programs and did some of that work so that they continue because they couldn't get ingredients in some cases and do that work. We went out, as I said, into the fields, forests, and lakes. We had people all over the state working in our research and outreach centers that opened up their doors to do the work that we had to do to move forward with our food and resources. And I reflect back, and we also had people in our labs and greenhouses and tractors across the state, and managed all that time. We had as far as we could identify, remember we were tracking people when they had infections at that point. The protocols we went through, the care that the people here gave to that, and the importance they gave to it and working together, we had no community transmission of COVID within the community that we could identify as a source, and we managed to get that work done. And so that was longer than usual. That was inclusive, I hope, of our research staff, our faculty, our students that were part of that, our graduate students that were here doing that work. And I want you, students and everyone, I think congratulations in order for the faculty that are here today joining us, and I thank them. I couldn't be prouder of the work they've done. So thank you all for your work. So with that, those were off my script, so I have to find my way in here again. With that, I will recognize, of course, today we're all about the students, as we always say, it's students first here. But at the same time, I do want to, early on, congratulate you for the work you've done. As I was just describing that, you were a part of that. You were part of our success. And I want to thank you for your work in doing that as well. As some words going forward for you, and I'll be brief here too, but in your brief time, as I've said, you faced some challenges that none of us could have imagined when you arrived on campus. You've been through, we've had a pandemic reminiscent of 1919. We have a war in Europe that we never thought would happen in the 21st century, harkening us back there. And I was thinking about this, and of course, this gets a little bit, we're in a challenging time, but I look back at a quote from Mark Twain. It was attributed to Mark Twain, but it was not Mark Twain, in fact, and many of you have probably heard of it, that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And in fact, I discovered that is not actually a Mark Twain quote. It came from an earlier time, so I suppose like all of you writing your theses and dissertations, you checked your citations, checked them again, tried to figure out where that work came from. And I couldn't find an author, but it traced back to a quote in 1845 that does have a little bit, that has some hope to it. And I'll talk about that as I go through this. But the quote was, "The vision recurs, the eastern sun has a second rise, history repeats her tale unconsciously, ages are prototypes of other ages, and an unwinding course of time brings us round to the same spot again." Now, as I read that, you might have said there was going to be a glimmer of hope, and it sounds like we're living through this again. But if you listen to the first part of that, before it said, brings us round to the same spot again, there was a quote that said, history repeats herself unconsciously. And if you think about that, that's true. None of us can affect what's happening in time. The world works and moves, and we move forward, and really unconscious to what our needs or our goals are, what our objectives are. And yet we move forward in the work that we're doing. And we do that, I think, that unconscious of time, and for you, our graduate students, to recognize we are living. We do have a conscience. You have a conscience. We have the ability and knowledge that you've gained here, hopefully to exercise that conscience and do it in a way that moves the world forward, and to reimagine that rhyme from what it has been over the years. You're called to exercise that conscience in treating people fairly and equitably. One of our core elements in CFANS is trying to advance and improve our diversity, equity, and inclusion program so that all are included in the work we do, and we certainly know our work cuts across all people across the globe. You're called to exercise your conscience by giving others the grace and time to understand their unique and beautiful differences that they bring, and that you may also be understood in doing that. You're called to exercise your conscience in addressing global issues of food security, what we all do in our programs here every day, and in addressing inextricably linked issues of global climate change and working through that in your local communities in addition to thinking about globally. So many of those challenges occur right here. You're called to exercise your conscience in support of democracy, free expression, a key element of our land-grant universities, of thinking about how do we provide the knowledge and insights so that we can have free and open discussion and solve some of these grand challenges that we face in society so that we can thrive. And my graduation hope for all of you today is that while a student at University of Minnesota, we have provided you the basis of knowledge and wisdom to advance your conscience into the world, to get off that unconscious treadmill of history and become, as Martin Luther King said, drum majors for service, so we don't come round this spot again. I know you can do it. I see you responding to the global pandemic when I was talking about the impacts of you completing your education, doing that in a way that respected our community, wore masks, you had vaccines, you were sure that we were all safe and able to accomplish those goals. I see you when you rally to social justice and equity in response to injustices and discrimination that we observe in our world today. We see you advance crop sciences, plant-based proteins, healthier forests, battling invasive species that crowd out our native plants and wildlife. And I see you all working in communities to develop local healthy food systems and keeping and caring for each other through every day when sometimes it seems like the world is simply not being unconscious around you. None of those are solved. It's hard work. It's worthy work. It's worthy of your lives and time. Your conscience you bring to that is invaluable to society. You're going to do great things, and I wish you all the very best for the future, and I congratulate you all on your successes to this point, and we look forward to many more successes from the graduating class of 2022. So thank you all. Congratulations. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce our graduate student speaker today, Sonali Raghunath, who today is receiving her PhD in food science Sonali was born in Chennai, India, and obtained her bachelor's in technology degree in food technology in 2017 from Anna University, India. She graduated from CFANS with her Master's of Science degree in food science with a specialization in food engineering and chemistry in 2019. Sana Lee's doctoral dissertation is focused on optimizing the effects of pulsed electric field systems for better functionality of food proteins, and she has presented her work nationally and internationally. She has been involved in many student organizations and has represented CFANS in national and international organizations as well. Sana Lee has been the recipient of more than 45 competitive awards, including the MnDrive Global Food Ventures Professional Development Award, the President's Student Leadership and Service Award, and the Elwood Caldwell Volunteer Scholarship. She's interested in pursuing work related to process design, product development, and business management in her future after graduation. Please join me in welcoming our graduate student speaker, Sonali Raghunathan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean, Associate Dean, keynote speaker, distinguished faculty, friends, family, guests, classmates, and graduates of 2020, 2021, and 2022. Welcome to our celebration. And thank you, Dean, for your kind introduction. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. So wrote a famous Greek philosopher over 2,500 years ago. As the quote says, every one of us started our graduate studies 2 years or 4 years ago at the University of Minnesota. And we are not the same person that entered this university, and we are not the same person who will be graduating today. For the rivers are changing. U of M is changing. Everything around us has changed. Formerly, we had smiles, and now we have masks hiding our smiles. Formerly, we had Zoom that was meant for fast communication. Now it's a place to meet and even attend classes. Everybody has grown and everything has changed. We are filled with new knowledge, improved our skills, developed cutting-edge technologies with the best researchers and scientists at CFANS. We were driven to discover, and we did that on a daily, weekly, and an yearly basis. Graduation is an exciting time. It's alpha and the omega. It's the beginning and the end. It's filled with memories and great anticipation of what lies ahead. Today is a day of celebration and reflection. So let us all reflect together a few moments of our journey at the University of Minnesota. For me, this journey has been full of opportunities, challenges, fun times, and yes, of course, some failures, yet all in the name of learning. And if you reflect with me, I hope I can look at you and you will all agree. Our journey began with the admission process. Do you remember filling out your forms, taking GREs, requesting transcripts, and getting your letters of recommendations? And then a deep breath, and then you keep waiting, waiting, and waiting. And then finally, the acceptance letter, which paved our way for our dream careers here today. Yet, for some of us, it was not so clear-cut. This is where my advisor needs special attention. I was so delighted to hear that I got the acceptance from University of Minnesota. But then, Dr. Kumar, he said yes to take me as a student. And that's where my CFANS journey started. Thank you, Dr. Kumar Mallikarjunan, for that belief. And that day, I instilled a thought. I will make him proud to have me as a student. And Professor Kumar, I see you on the third row. And I see you smiling there. I hope you're proud. There he's waving his hand. Thank you. As I packed my bags and my suitcases, I read all about Minnesota Nice. I felt how lucky I traveled to such a welcoming area. But then I realized I stepped into Minnesota's ice, filled with snow and Arctic winds. Had I read the websites very incorrectly? Well, nevertheless, I adapted, and like all have grown to appreciate and enjoy one of the pretty states in the US with all the 4 seasons. The next step rolling our sleeves, and digging into the new world of graduate life. A life of new classmates and soon-to-be friends. And by the way, aren't many of us sitting next to us today? Yeah, we have 2021 too, so yeah, everybody is sitting next to us. Together, we survived team projects, late-night paper submission, deadline only 2 minutes away, urgent midnight emails to professors and TAs for the subject, "Oh my God, my internet is not working." Exclamation point 12 times, we never forget that. Finally, we reach the edge and begin to understand. It is now our turn to begin and expand our knowledge base. We begin to undertake our research seriously and take the journey to create and explore our dissertation. We're full of excitement. We have our project works figured out. We have well laid out plans. We all think our research is the best project ever. And it is until when we are pounding our heads against our walls, breaking glass where nothing is going right. And it's at that point, as James Taylor wrote in his famous song, "You Need a Friend." Yet we keep working. We keep having long discussion with our colleagues, friends, peers. We work day and night, and we weave into the hours, and slowly, your research begins to click. There's a small success, and years go by. You present your research, you publish papers, another success. You're doing it and making it a great effort. And after years of great effort, we finally have our oral exams, prelim submission, final exam, and then the D-Day, the defense day. We're questioned to death, scared to death, yet we survive the difficult question. And one of the difficult ones, well, when are you graduating? Well, congratulations, graduates. You have the answer to that question. Every step we have been through, it has been an up and a downfall, and sometimes a spiral. But I'm pretty sure we can all agree it was never a straight line. But the end goal never changed, never disappeared for any of us, and that's why we are here today. Today, we're successful graduates with vast knowledge from your programs at CFANS. These memories of graduate schools of CFANS are going to last forever, so today, give yourself a pat. You did it. You made it here. Yet, let us all remember one thing. We're young, and our new journey has just begun. With our diplomas, our professors are passing the torch of responsibility to our generation. Well, it is our turn to make the difference in this world, a world full of challenge and change. We had to sacrifice a great deal of time, money, and often separation from our families and closest friends. But we had the energy, drive, and passion to keep moving forward, even when you did not know what the future holds. We achieved, we grew, we developed skills along the way to complete our graduate school, even during a global crippling pandemic. Oh, the pandemic. I want to take a moment and give a quote by a French poet. Sometimes, only one person is missing, and the whole world seems depopulated. Unfortunately, COVID may have taken you the very special person, and they are missing. Yet, together, we are missing millions of people in the US and across the globe because of COVID. And together, we deeply sadden. The pandemic has certainly taught us about human values, emotional connections, and how critical our daily activities and even the relationships with each other and to our humanity. As graduates from University of Minnesota, we should expand our views on human behavior, on giving back to our community, building valuable relations, volunteering, and building connections. Even when the world was down with COVID, there was a season of uncertainty, not able to visit family, a sense of fear, but the passion drove us this far on how to adapt under pressure under uncertain situation. Let us all give a big round of applause to all the graduates and all the loved ones who have gone before us. Thank you. We'll always love and remember them. This journey would have been near impossible without the wonderful support we were given by our family, advisors, mentors, and committees. Standing here in front of everyone, I'll look back and I reflect all the 4 years of legacy we have made together. And I must say, I'm nothing but proud of it. I'm excited to see what the future will bring. As someone once said, difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. We are about to reach a beautiful destination, and now it's time for a different challenge. If you get tired in your new, challenging journey, just learn to rest and not quit. Our unique graduate memories at the University of Minnesota have come to an end, and our big dreams of our future is just beginning. Today is the day we pass and we celebrate this achievement with family and friends. I cannot finish this speech without my thanks to my mom and my dad, who flew all the way from India to watch their daughter graduate and give a commencement speech. They've always let me dream of impossibilities and helped me make it a possibility. Congratulations, graduates of 2020, 2021, and 2022, once again. Thank you.
Wait for her to come back through the doorway so she gets Thank you, Sonali, for those remarks. And terrific to have your parents join you here from India today. They get the travel award. I said, maybe not. We could do a contest. But thank you, Sonali, for those remarks and representing your classmates so well. It's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Oni Byers. Dr. Oni Byers, her MS in 1987 and PhD in 1990 in animal physiology, and earned her PhD in reproductive physiology from the University of Minnesota and completed a postdoctoral fellowship at the Smithsonian Institution's National Zoo in Washington, D.C., working on assistive reproductive techniques in endangered cat species. Oni joined the IUCN SCC's Conservation Planning Specialist Group in 1991 as a program officer and was promoted to the position of executive director in 2005. In collaboration with government wildlife agencies, conservation organizations, SSC specialist groups, and zoos and aquariums, Oni facilitates the development of management strategies to minimize the risk of species extinction. She has authored more than 50 scientific publications and book chapters and serves on the Species Survival Commission Steering Committee, the Conservation and Sustainability Committee, and the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the Executive Committee of Amphibian ARC, Global Council of the Amphibian Survival Alliance, and the boards and Species 360, and the Emerging Wildlife Conservation Leaders. That's a lot of service to go along with her record in science. So Dr. Byers, welcome, and we appreciate you joining us today to share your comments.
Congratulations, graduates. Woo! You know, it was really a long time ago when I was sitting there and I received my PhD from this esteemed university, the Department of Animal Science, which appropriately gets the first row here. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. I wonder how many of you can remember the first presentation or seminar that you ever gave as a graduate student. Anybody remember that? I can remember mine, and I was a complete nervous wreck. It was an International Society for the Study of Reproduction conference in Iowa. I was giving a poster, and I prepared like I have never prepared before, and possibly since. I knew everything. I imagined every question I could possibly be asked, and I came up with perfect answers to each of them, and I even knew the statistics. But everybody who visited my poster, and I'm not kidding, everyone, and there were a lot of them, had just one question. How do you get semen from a tiger? Really, it was so disappointing. I mean, it's a fair question, I guess. There I was, surrounded by scientists, proudly representing their research on cattle and pigs and poultry and a whole lot of mice. And I was the only one that was doing research on tigers. I was doing this work only because of an amazingly generous and open-minded professor, Dr. Alan Hunter, took a chance on me. He had, just like all professors do, a grant that he had to deliver on, and he wanted students to help him do that. But I had something really different in mind. I had worked at the Mayo Clinic in their human in vitro fertilization laboratory, and I was using something called the hamster egg sperm penetration assay. You don't have to write that down, to evaluate the fertilizing capacity of human sperm. So when I told Dr. Hunter that I wanted to use that same assay to study the in vitro capacitation of Siberian tiger sperm, he and any, rational professor should have shown me the door, really. But he didn't, not Dr. Hunter. He said if I can take that idea and make it into a PhD project, he would support me. And I did, and he did. That work sent me on a set my trajectory for my entire career, and it really couldn't have happened. It would not have happened if I had found myself anywhere else but the University of Minnesota in his laboratory. It gave me a foot in the door of the international conservation community, and it's the only reason I was accepted as a postdoc at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. There I conducted research on the use of artificial insemination and in vitro fertilization in large cats and other endangered species. This was the premier reproductive physiology lab for endangered species in the country, maybe in the world. And I was working with a brilliant, really dedicated, and super fun group of people. And I was truly living the dream. But ultimately, I found that my focus was turning from the specifics of reproduction to species conservation more generally. And I just had a feeling that I could use kind of my innate skills more effectively for conservation if I was working with people rather than looking through a microscope. But luckily, through my work with Dr. Hunter, I had met Dr. Ulysses Seal, who also took a chance on me. And eventually, he hired me to work at the Conservation Planning Specialist Group, or CPSG. CPSG is based here in Minnesota. It's hosted by the Minnesota Zoo, but it's part of the International Union for Conservation of Nature, which is based in Switzerland, and it's the largest and oldest conservation organization. As I know you all know, threats such as deforestation and land conversion and global warming and pollution and illegal wildlife trade and disease, and of course the continuing threat of increasing global population, all that comes with this, all these threats continue unabated. And the result is an increasing number of species threatened with extinction. Of the over 85,000 species that have been assessed by the IUCN Red List, which is the most highly respected assessment process for species extinction, there are a third of those 85,000 are on the verge of extinction. Our activities, human activities, are causing a massive loss of species across the world. It has no precedent in human history and few precedents in history of life on Earth. For 40 years, the Conservation Planning Specialist Group, my organization, has been helping to reverse the decline in threatened species around the world by helping to develop inclusive, sustainable plans to minimize risk of extinction. You might not think CPSG's role is that glamorous. It's not as glamorous, maybe you think, as that work that people are doing, in the forest and in the sea, working directly with a species conservation problem. But I contend that for those people to do that really important work, they have to be guided by a stakeholder-inclusive, science-based, sustainable plan. And I have the privilege of leading an organization that develops and trains people in the use of what are arguably the world's best tools and processes for doing just that. I mean, what could be more glamorous, right? When I returned home from my 10-year high school reunion, so you can imagine how long ago that was, I remember my father said to me, "Who has the life you wish you had?" And I took the question seriously, and I thought about all my classmates who were doing really interesting things. Some people lived in fabulous places or making far more money than I ever would. And then I answered honestly, I do. I have made it kind of a ritual to ask myself that question every 5 years or so. And I answer it as honestly each time, and each time I answer it the same way. In spite of the enormity of the crisis and the lack of political will and adequate funding, the long hours and the millions of miles traveled in coach, I have lived the life I wish I had. That's because of the purpose and the honor that come from helping to lead the fight to halt biodiversity loss. I am forever indebted to Dr. Alan Hunter and the University of Minnesota for giving me the honor, giving me the opportunity to launch a career that has provided for me the life I wish I had. I wish each one of you the very best as you embark on this next phase of your journey. I hope you'll find and follow your passion, live a life of purpose, and I hope that at every opportunity you get, you will take a chance on someone. Chances are it will change their lives and maybe yours as well. And mostly what I hope is that when you each look back, you too will say, you have the life you wish you had. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Oh, wait. The answer to the question, does anyone know it? How do you get semen from a tiger? Anybody? Electroejaculation. Thank you and congratulations.
It just occurred to me the life I wish I had wasn't preceded by those two words. And I say that even though my father-in-law, who you might know, Harold Hodson, his background is reproductive physiology, and he developed boar semen for swine. So I have an animal science degree, I'm in the business, but thank you for those words, Ani. All of them, not just the last two. But thank you so much, and congratulations for being here, and appreciate your comments for our students. With that, it is time, the time that I think we've all been waiting for, and that's the presentation, it's why we're here, of our degree candidates. And to start with, we have Professor Marcela Windmiller-Campion with the Department of Forest Resources, and she will present the candidates for master's degrees.
We present the candidates for the master's degree in agricultural education. Sonia Hawkinson. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in agricultural education. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in animal science. Drew Schwartz. Sarah Ahrens. Amber Brinks. Bridget Lorensky. Kevin Kamayu. Sudaria Roberto Silva, Jr. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in animal science. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in applied economics. Samuel Bafanzi. Matthew Hockert. Casey McNichols. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in applied economics. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in applied plant sciences. John Hawkins. Lita Larson. Michael Miller. Joan Barretos Ortaz. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in applied plant sciences. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in bioproducts and biosystems science, engineering, and management. Joseph Rosie. Nandini Singh. Aaron Peach. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in bioproducts and biosystem engineering and management. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in conservation sciences. Yep. Holly Laley Kundrell. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in conservation sciences. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in food science. Gretchen Gustafsson. Brigitta Yaputri. Jacob Vitt. Laura Eckhart. Lucy Hansen. Alyssa Snyder. Kenzie McLintick. Leslie Lear. Christina Tingle. Sharon Chan. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in food science. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in land and atmospheric science. Luis Allen. Kyle Sherbine. Azucena Sierra. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in land and atmospheric science. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in natural resources science and management. Yeah. Emily Anu Willie. Amy Shawnette. Ethan Emick. Alexander J. Gorman. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in natural resources science and management. Next, we present candidates for the master's degree in nutrition. Catherine Lovey. Nabila Khan. Katia Fudeyeva. Abigail Masiangelo. Meredith Bondi. Jessica Drake. Shauna Golper. Kiera Josephs. Brooke Kusher. Megan Edelman. Ashley Gelhaus. Brittany Noble. Hannah Johnson. McKenna Lewis. Aaron Swanson. Joshua Bailey. Azira Jackson. Doug Grady. Eric Lindstrom. Xin-Ching Li. Hung Wan Chung. Hannah Church Lee. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in nutrition. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in plant pathology. Dong Yu Kim. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the master's degree in plant pathology. Next, we present the candidates for the master's degree in water resources science. Elizabeth Hill. Garner Correll. Cole Raygun. I almost what was on this card, which says end of master's candidates. Okay. Dean Burr, this concludes the presentation of master's degree candidates. Let's give them all a round of applause. I'd like to welcome Professor Michael Schultz, Animal Science Department Head, to the podium to present those students who have earned the Doctor of Philosophy degree, one of the highest degrees granted by the University of Minnesota.
We will now recognize candidates for doctorate degrees. Candidates will be hooded by Associate Dean Greg Cuomo unless the candidate's advisor steps forward to do so. Advisors, please stand when your advisee's program is announced so that you are ready to hood them when they cross the stage. we present the candidates for doctoral degree in animal science. Yuan Tai Hung. Mattia Lauren Colwell Matson. Ramya Leka Medida. Riel Swanson. Zhao Hui Yang. This concludes the presentation of graduates for doctoral degree in animal science. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in applied economics. Chris Boyd Leon. Ken Chua. Berenger Tsumesi Tiago. Khadija Dukure. Sumin Lee. Colette Salami. Celestine Siame. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in applied economics. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in applied plant sciences. Julia Cubans. Juan Carlos Meta. Laizy Morera. Clayton Varta. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in applied plant sciences. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in bioproducts and biosystems science, engineering, and management. Adriana Alvarez de la Hoz. Laura Bender. John Brockreitens. Fatima Haydari. This concludes the presentation of graduates for doctoral degree in bioproducts and biosystem science, engineering, and management. Next, we present the candidate for the doctoral degree in conservation sciences. Margaret McAkron. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in conservation sciences. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in entomology. Dominique Abega. Corey Nyquist. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in entomology. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in food science. Maureen Omolu. Shruti Narayana Murthy. Justin Wurtsema. Sonali Raghunath. Rachel Metasek. Aquia Otier. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in food science. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in land and atmospheric science. Gabriel Diaz-Peo. Xiying Yu. Liana Leverich. Jonathan Alexander. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in Land and Atmospheric Science. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in Natural Resources Science and Management. Famara K. Damfa. Lucia Fitz Vargas. Ella Gray. Zachary McAkron. Hannah Raymer. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in Natural Resources Science and Management. Next, we present the candidates for the doctoral degree in Nutrition. Aisha Baltasi. Ju Young Kim. Yua Gua. Taeyue Lin. Moruge Motiga. This concludes the presentation of graduates for the doctoral degree in Nutrition. Next, we present the candidate for the doctoral degree in plant pathology, Deepak Harith. Dean Boer, this concludes our presentation of candidates for the doctoral degree.
Well, thank you all, and congratulations to all the students. Now, and I will assure people that there were no students harmed in the hooding of the students, so it was all, I think everybody made it okay. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Regent Janie Mayron, and I present these candidates to you for their respective degrees.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Will all of the graduates please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Regents of the University of Minnesota, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Mayron. And again, congratulations to all our graduate students. You've earned these degrees, and we look forward to seeing you in the future as colleagues and partners in science and research. So congratulations, and thank you all. It's now my pleasure to introduce Roberta Ryan. She is president of the CFANS Alumni Society Board of Directors. And Roberta Ryan is the animal curator at the Wildlife Science Center, a wilderness education, conservation, and research facility in Stacy, Minnesota. She graduated from CFANS in 2014, and her Fisheries and Wildlife Bachelor of Science degree allowed her to pursue her lifelong dream of working with wolves. So tigers and wolves, where's the lions and bears? Roberta has a passion for connecting alumni with each other and for fostering relationships between alumni and current students. She has served on the Mentor Program Steering Committee during much of her time on the board and is excited about creating new opportunities for our alumni network to grow professionally. Thanks, Roberta, for being with us here today.
So I would just like to make sure that Ani knows that I did actually know how you get semen from a tiger. But I was respectful and I didn't raise my hand. Hello, and a huge congratulations to the graduating CFANS class of 2022 and 2021 and 2020. Today is a day to celebrate your achievements, reflect on your college journey, and prepare for the future ahead. I find myself reminiscing as well. It doesn't feel that long ago that I was celebrating my own graduation, receiving my bachelor's degree in fisheries and wildlife from CFANS as well. Completing my degree was an adventure full of new experiences I'd never anticipated. I gained critical life skills, met influential leaders in my field, achieved dreams, and developed confidence in my career. I hope that you all found similar opportunities through your time here. You now stand at the precipice of a new adventure. Your entire college career has culminated in this moment, leading you to the beginning of an even bigger, more impactful journey. Graduates from CFANS have gone on to battle climate change, tackle food insecurity, and conserve the natural resources we all depend on. Each of you has the potential to confront these obstacles and make a similar or even greater impact than those that came before you. Some of the world's biggest challenges will be conquered by your peers sitting with you here in this room today. I can't wait to see what you accomplish as you move forward the fields of food, agriculture, and natural resources. As the president of the CFANS Alumni Society, I've had the opportunity to watch students develop their talents, forge new connections, and transition into professionals. As you begin the next chapter in your life, we want you to know that the Alumni Society is here to help you advance your careers, to make a lasting impact on students, and to move our college and communities forward. I invite you all to join us. Whether you're looking for networking opportunities, professional development, or just a chance to give back, we strive to support you well beyond your experience here at CFANS. The CFANS Alumni Society houses one of the university's most robust mentor programs. Can anybody that has been a part of the mentor program please take a minute to raise their hand if you've been either a mentor or a mentee? Quite a few people. Thank you guys all for participating in that program. Every year, nearly 200 alumni volunteers and friends come forward to mentor undergraduate and graduate students. This is a program that I found hugely beneficial as a student and have enthusiastically invested in as a professional. It allows students to explore a wide array of career paths, deepen their networks, and find new confidence in themselves. If you've ever felt grateful for the guidance of a professor, an alumni, or another advisor, I'd encourage you to consider becoming a mentor yourself. The impact your investment makes on each student will be invaluable, and you'll most likely take something away from it as well. To help you settle into your new role as an alumnus, we invite you to participate in our Gifts for Grads program. You can find more information about this program in the back of your program that you were given today. We are offering you a free gift through the Alumni Market if you attend a University of Minnesota alumni event, either virtually or in person. Just find your event, snap a picture or a screenshot of your experience, and then submit it to redeem your gift. Each Alumni Market item is produced by an alumni-led business, making it truly unique. We hope that this incentive encourages you to continue engaging with other alumni and with the college throughout your career. Welcome to this new phase of your life. As CFANS graduates, we are counting on you to innovate our food systems, sustainably manage our natural resources, and better the lives of those around us. The CFANS Alumni Society Board is excited to see what you accomplish next, and we encourage you to stay involved with both CFANS and the U beyond this momentous occasion. On behalf of the entire board, congratulations to you all, and best wishes in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Roberta, for those remarks, and thank you also for being a terrific president of our Alumni Society Board. You know, it's sort of that you're never too old to learn, and I can't share the story. I was at a regenerative beef production facility that was a pasture-raised beef production area, and the farmer came to me and said, and I was looking around, it's nice cattle out there, and there was a donkey out in the middle of the cattle. And he comes over and I'm like, well, so what's this donkey doing with your cattle? And he said, it keeps wolves away. And I'm going, yeah, telling this professor guy, no way. So I went to Roberta and said, Roberta, do donkeys keep wolves away? Sure enough, donkeys keep wolves away. So you learn something new every day. So thanks, Roberta. With that, one last time, we appreciate everyone's attending today. We appreciate your support of all of the students through the years and now the graduates with their PhD and master's degree. We're delighted you've been on our campus for the last through the last few years, the 2021 and 22 classes, to be with us and work with us. We're so delighted at your success. We hope you'll stay in touch. And with that, let's give our students, graduate students, one more, or our new graduates. So as we do our recessional, I ask that everyone remain seated until the graduates and faculty have left the room. And I would like to also offer thanks to our wonderful vocalist, CFAN students Emily Colby. Thank you, Emily. And again, we wish you all the best and hope that you'll stay in touch with us. And what we'll conclude with is the singing of Hail Minnesota. Please rise as you're able.
Minnesota, hail to thee, hail to thee.